Okay, so what I've done here, so I could show you what to correct, is I've copied your pattern from your 3x3 document to this letter size document just to show you what will happen when you start trying to repeat this pattern. I've created a 3x3 inch box so we can see what we're working with. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create a clipping mask. So I'm just selecting everything. Then I'm going to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. Okay, now when you're all finished, you can actually use the pattern tool or the repeat tool if you want. Either one will work, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to duplicate this. So when I duplicate it, because of how things are, it's not going to repeat seamlessly, which is what we're looking for. What would happen here, because you have the two peanut butters on the edge and the jelly sandwich in between it, you'd end up with two peanut butters next to each other, two jellies, when you start repeating. So here's two things that we could do. One is, and I'm just going backwards. One is really simple. I'm gonna actually get rid of the 3x3 box, and I'm just gonna start by instead of deleting, I'm just gonna remove things off the page. Instead of having 9x9, and I know this isn't what I was doing on the videos, but this is what we can do for yours since it's a very straightforward grid, is instead of using the pattern tool, which is what I go through in the videos, that's right here, we're going to use the repeat tool, and I'm going to use grid. And see what's happening here is it just repeats your pattern on a grid. And it will do it indefinitely if you move these. What it's doing is it'll move the pattern to fit within the parameters of the blue box. And here, this lets you control the tightness of it if you wanted to like make the sandwiches, on top of each other, which you don't have to do. I'm just showing you what you could do. You could space it out more. Yeah, so those are the things that you can do with the repeat tool, and that's not how the pattern tool works. Okay, so I think that for your project, I would advise using the repeat tool because it's really effective and doing a good job. But let me show you how you could, how you would arrange it if you wanted to use the pattern tool. I'm going to hit release. That will release the pattern. And now that'll release the repetition. And now I'm going to show you what to do if you wanted to use the box. So if you're going to use the box, let's get that box back. The box should be on top of everything else. And I'm going to lock it for now. And I'm going to bring these in. Now the idea with the pattern tool is that whatever is on the top needs to bleed to the bottom, and whatever's on the side needs to bleed to the other side. So it's on the left should bleed into the right. So the first thing I'm going to do is arrange the frame. And I think the benefit of doing it with the pattern tool is you can make it more chaotic, more interesting. So let's say with the repeat tool, you would make a basic grid, but with the pattern tool, we can maybe make your shapes a little more energetic by putting them on an angle. In general, shapes on angles are more active than shapes that are straight. Okay, so first I'm doing the left side, and then I'll do the right side. We can move this up. Okay, now what we need to do is copy all of this, Command C, and now I'm going to hit Command F, or if we looked in Edit, paste in front. Now you can't actually see what's happened, but now we have double of everything. And now instead of moving it manually like that, Command Z to undo, I'm going to go to Transform, it's in the Properties panel, and we're going to move things over manually. Now we know that this is a 3-inch box, so if I want to get this to here, I need to add by 3, and this will be, I think, more clear if you see the rulers, so I'm going to hit Command R to get the rulers. So we're trying to go from here to here. So I just need to type in the X value plus 3. And this is kind of like geometry. We're going over on the x-axis, and I hit enter, and now we have this over here. Terrific. I can now copy a jelly, and here we're gonna, I guess, have more space in between the vertical lines, just because unless you wanted to, I don't know, make two types of jelly, but I don't think another peanut butter would fit. So I'm going to move that. And now we want to, this one and these are already on the, oh, here's a problem. The bottoms, these aren't matching these. So that's my mistake. And what I'm going to do is redo this. And it's just going to, whatever, let's undo it. We still have the two originals. This that's in the corner, if something's in the corner, it needs to be in all of the corners. Okay, so this one here can stay in the center or close to the center. So what I'm going to do here is copy, paste in place, add 3 to the x-axis. Now I'm going to copy both of these, Command C. Now I'm going to go on the y-axis and add 3 because we're going from top to bottom. But I didn't hit Command C, Command F. Now we can move it 3 plus 3. Okay. Now I can copy and paste. So Command C, then Command F. The jelly, and I can move it over 3. Oops, I didn't get the bread too, so let's do it again. Command C, Command F, plus 3. Now I'm going to go on top. So I just duplicated that by holding down Option. Okay, and now Command C, Command F. I'm adding on the y-axis because I'm trying to go from top to bottom. Plus 3. Did it do anything? Let's see what happened. Okay, so type in the y, plus 3. There we go. And now I just need to duplicate 1 to fill in the center. Okay, we've got our pattern. Now, if I unlock the rectangle, I can make a clipping mask, Object, Clipping Mask. The shortcut is Command 7 or Control 7 if you're working on a PC. Everything that's Command on a Mac is Control on a PC. Anyway, then we can go to Object, Pattern, Make. Terrific. When you make a pattern, it brings it into the swatches panel. So we're going to hit OK. That's fine. And now what we're seeing around here is all of the stuff that's hidden in the clipping mask. We know that the box is 3 by 3, so we just want our width and height to be 3 by 3 inches. So I'm going to hit OK. Now we can hit Done. I'm going to move this off. Now if we fill a rectangle, like over the whole page, and here in the swatches panel we can see the new pattern. It's right here, and it just fills in the pattern. It fills the rectangle with the pattern, which is pretty neat. So that is that's what we're doing here. You can either use the repeat tool, which I had shown you in the beginning, which is where you repeat, and I think you would do yours in a grid. If you want your pattern to look very much grid-like, you could use the repeat tool. If you want it to look more organic and celebratory, having things on different angles makes it feel more energetic. One is not necessarily or inherently better than the other. It's just two different approaches. So that's how you would go from your peanut butters and jellies to your actual wrapping paper.